The modding scene for Half Life Alyx has been very promising so far. It's reminded me a bit of the heyday of Source 1 custom content creation for Counter-Strike Source, Team Fortress 2, and especially Gary's mod. Now, the sky's the limit with these Source 2 modding tools. Obviously, the full potential hasn't been wrung dry yet, but I do feel like the months that these modding tools have been available have allowed 3 broad categories of mod to crystallize. I'm going to run through each of the 3 types of mod that add substantial value to Half Life Alyx, as well as give a sterling example of a mod in each category. The first type of mod to add substantial value to Half Life Alyx would be the persistent game-changing mods. An example of a game-changing mod would be one like the Glorious Gloves, which restore the gravity gloves in Half Life Alyx to work more like the gravity gun in Half-Life 2. After installing the Glorious Gloves, you'll find yourself able to pick up much of the game's heavier objects and fling them at your enemies to kill them with aplomb. You can open doors from a distance like a Jedi, or grab a manhack out of the air and meteor strike it against the wall. This is the kind of little tweak to functionality within the game's sandbox, which makes replaying the original game an interesting experience, but it's also something that you can take with you into any custom content. Game-changing mods like this, especially ones that give you new degrees of control over your environment in VR, breathe a breath of fresh air into the game. The second major mod category that I'd like to cover is those mods that recreate an experience in a non-VR game within the Half-Life Alyx engine. A perfect example of this kind of mod would be the recreation of the dam level from Goldeneye 64. This is instantly appealing because it's allowing you to re-explore a space you're already familiar with under a new gameplay premise and perspective. And even if you haven't played Goldeneye 64, this level and levels like it are interesting in their own right, but it is hard to match the nostalgic buzz of walking through an area that you're already familiar with from a new point of view. Fill-in-the-blank game here, but in VR, is a great premise for a short 15 to 30 minute experience, and that's something that you can get loads of on the Steam Workshop. And the last, but probably most compelling category of mod would be the complete genre transplants, the levels that change the way you play the game so that it feels substantially different from Half-Life Alyx vanilla. The best example of a mod like this, and the best Half-Life Alyx mod I've played so far, would be Belomorskaya Station. Belomorskaya takes away your gravity gloves. You can't draw ammo or resources to you from all the way across the room. Also, crucially, this mod takes away your offhand mounted flashlight. Your only tool for navigating the pitch-black hallways, staircases, and train cars of this mod is a flare that produces red light that you have to physically carry with you. If you want to reload, you need to set that thing down, and you better point it in a direction where you can see what you're supposed to be shooting at. This little twist on the gameplay formula winds up feeling like a completely new game, and really it feels like the next step in the evolution of horror games. And this mod manages a shift in genre and atmosphere this substantial only by changing a couple of elements within the Half-Life Alyx engine. The work that Dids did in this mod is really impressive, and it makes me excited for the future of mods for this game. And what might that future look like? Well, if Gary's Mod 2 is under development, as Gary Newman's tweets seem to suggest, then that would be the next frontier for Source 2 mods and really just PC modding in general. This is the most exciting scene around, in my opinion. I think the real test for all this, though, and the real next step forward, will be once there is a proper Source 2 multiplayer game. Whether that's Gary's Mod 2 or something that Valve releases first party, it's going to be something that enables this level of customization, but in a multiplayer context. That is the sort of mod making that's carried Valve for so many years, whether it be for Counter-Strike or Team Fortress. The community contributing to the game in a multiplayer server browser context is what gives Valve's library so much shelf life. And I don't think Source 2 will be an exception. So I'm really looking forward to the future of Source 2, and in particular, the future of Source 2 mods in multiplayer games. Honorable mention to a fourth category of mod that I don't think is specific to VR or Half-Life Alyx, but is obviously something that people use mods for. These are the cosmetic mods, the mods that change skins or that change sounds. These exist in pretty much every game, so they're not unique to VR, but there is something additionally special about being able to import a custom gun skin and then hold it up to your face and see every detail of it. But I do think it's going to be more so the mods that make deeper changes to the formula, like Belomorskaya Belomorskaya station, or the glorious gloves, or mods that recreate a non-VR experience in VR, these are going to be the ones that continue to keep the scene active and serve as the ones that keep players coming back to this game, I think. So thank you for watching. I'm trying something different in this video. This was not scripted. It's on the shorter side. I'm thinking of making videos more like this on a more frequent basis. If that's something you're interested in, then feel free to leave a comment and subscribe. And you might see more videos like this coming down the pipe. Thanks again. I'll catch you later.